lines, and they still got to play either Auburn or Alabama. You go figure it's Auburn.
Especially with that, I mean, with Auburn going through that whole Newton scandal. I mean, how far is that going right now? Are there more allegations? I mean,
well, for me, one of the things that seems truest is you look at Cam Newton.
Right.
Is Auburn, risking their entire season by playing him?
Well, I mean, the investigation is only going to get worse because, the NCAA wants to find answers. They're not spending all this money, and they're not going public, to be embarrassed. And they know something is going on, and I'm sure they want to get to the bottom line of it. But the thing is, I think they're going to run out of time because sooner or later this kid's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to deal with this in the NFL right now.
Well,
so
at some point, he's going to be on the field on Sunday.
Yes.
Being like Michael Vick is, running a 4-1. You've chased guys like that. How was that chasing?
It's not fun, It makes you very slow. And the thing is I remember one year I played against Edgerrin James, Donovan McNabb, and Michael Vick, and I remember, I swear, we were at Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, and Donovan McNabb ran from one sideline to the next sideline to the next sideline. Finally threw the ball 50 yards down the field and made the touchdown. I was never so tired in my life, and I was never so amazed at one athlete to ever make a play like that.
That's amazing. Now, you talk about McNabb. There's been lots of talk about him. He just signed this extension.
Yes.
He had some issues with his coach talking about his conditioning.
Yes.
How does that make you feel as a player, knowing that your quarterback is hearing that kind of
Well,
thing?
I mean, it must be tough for him because Donovan is the captain of this team, and right now the offensive coordinator and the coach is questioned. I mean, especially in a 2-minute drill, you want to put Rex Grossman in, who hasn't played in about 2 years, and all of a sudden you're saying that, okay, I want you to lead us to victory. Okay, and 2 weeks later you signed to a $78 million extension.
Right.
So the lines are really crossed right now.
That was very strange. Very strange. Got a call coming in. Go ahead. You're on Sports Sound Off.
Hey, just changing gears a little bit. This weekend, John Force won his 15th putting card championship, and I want to say congratulations to John Force and what y'all had to say about that. Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks for keeping us abreast of that. Yes, definitely congratulations to John Force for that. And we expect, I'm sure, to see more of the Force family as they go along. Let's see. Go ahead. You're on Sports Sound Off.
Yes, I want to say that, what do you think the odds of the Bucks making the playoffs this year?
Well, let's see. The odds of the Bucks making the playoffs, I think for me, thanks for your call, by the way. I think being playoff bound is exactly what we're talking about with this team. They're young, they're good, and I think for sure these guys are looking playoffs.
Well, I think they are too. I mean, it's going to be a testament to see how they go on the road, especially against a San Francisco team whose backs are against the wall right now.
Right.
Mike Singletary is fighting for his job. They fired their offensive coordinator and they hired Michael Johnson. But they have a plethora of talent. I mean, they have Patrick Willis, they have Michael Crabtree.
Yep.
Nate Davis is playing really well right now for them. So
you got Smith starting at quarterback now. So that's you made some transition.
You have you have a relentless defense. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Bucks take a 5.5, 6 hour flight out there and make the transition to play in the West Coast time.
All right. Now let me ask you something. We bounce back to the pros. In terms of college, who do you think is the team that's the odd man out with Auburn, Oregon, Boise State, and TCU?
I think it's going to be TCU. And I think it's always going to be TCU because I just don't think that they've garnered the respect over the years like other teams have.
Right.
And I think that, it's really a shame because they went to, whose house was it? They were playing number 5. Utah. And they totally annihilated them.
Up.
And if that doesn't garner any respect toward a BCS bowl or a national championship bowl, I mean, it's really gonna be funny to see how Auburn plays Alabama because that is gonna dictate. And if Alabama pulls it out, I mean, it is gonna screw everything up right now.
Well, you see, Saban's a defensive genius. If anybody can stop Cam Newton, maybe it's him.
I mean, and that's why they hired Nick Saban because they hired him for big games like this, and if he can become the spoiler, they're gonna emulate him for years to come down
Yeah,
there.
I'll agree with that. I'm one of those people that I think that this might be Auburn's year and that they find a way to win it, but we'll just have to see how that works out. Let's see here. We were talking about South Carolina and Spurrier and Garcia. Were you surprised by that with the Gators and Carolina at all?
No, not really. That's just the way it is. I mean, in college football, it's so much harder, and teams do so many different things, and I'm not really surprised by any innuendos. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That happen in college football because nothing's a surprise anymore. You turn on SportsCenter every 6:30, and you see something else. I mean, it's always a constant story about what's going on nowadays.
Yeah. Well, the thing for me and Cam Newton, my first thought with all of that was, are there boosters out there talking about Newton?
Right.
Just to get him a little rattled before Alabama Auburn.
Of course. Everyone's looking for an angle. Everyone's looking for an advantage to somehow always trying to garner a win.
Right.
And the Bucs are trying to say the headsets are out.
Right.
Right. So there's always an angle going on.
There's always a thing going on. For those that are involved with some of the local sports, I want to hit a couple of things real quickly here. And that is that the Bolts are playing right now on Long Island against the Islanders. And for those that are Magic fans, they'll be playing tomorrow night against the Suns. As we get farther into the season, we'll be talking more about that. I do want to touch on this as well. If you're a fan and you want to stay in touch with us throughout the week, you can catch us on Facebook, or you can shoot me an email at sportsoundoff@aol.com. I want to thank Chris for being here tonight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We loved having you, and we those sports fans that continue this conversation, we want to make sure that we keep talking about sports. Shoot me a line. I want to thank our underwriters and sponsors, Team Alita, the IT professionals. Also like to thank Barnacles, who keep us going and love their wings. Want to thank Margot and the team there for their support. Also like to thank all that are watching the show on the internet on tbcn.org. You can click Watch Us. Also, if you're interested in being a sponsor or underwriter of Sports Sound Off, you can drop us a note on Facebook or on YouTube. For those that are interested in upcoming shows, we're going to have Charlie Hanna on.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have him. And, we just want to continue this conversation. And if you want to sound off, this is the place to do it. I love being a fan, but for me, the real deal is talking about it, around the water cooler and finding out what other people are thinking. So, sound off. We want to thank you for being with us tonight, and we'll see you again next time. Until then, we'll see you in the stands. My name's Randy Adkins again, and we'll see you again at Sports Sound Off.